Hello, everyone. So I want to expand more on time loops. I talk about this concept often. And a time loop is a pattern that keeps repeating in your life. And I mean this in the context of a pattern that you don't like. For example, you keep having a certain kind of argument with your spouse, or you keep hitting the end of the month and your income is at the same level, or there's a certain kind of person you resist being around and that person keeps showing up in your life, or someone like them keeps showing up in your life. It's a energetic pattern that is a holding pattern in your life. Like you are actually holding yourself in place. So I want to expand on the time loop, because there's a way you can break through consistently. And as you're doing it, this gets you the thing in life you want. You want that feeling of progress. Like, it feels good when you break through and you face your resistance and you level up and you expand. But if we aren't aware of this, we end up holding ourselves back. Doing my chicken chores right now, so that's what you're hearing. So more on time loops is there's something called self-honesty. It's a principle. And it took me a while to actually really grasp this. Like, it makes sense when you first hear it. Okay, yeah, I got to be honest with myself. But to actually... We got a loud-ass rooster. Might get rid of him. It's so loud. So back to the point, all right? No distractions. Self-honesty is your guide. But self-honesty must be cultivated. Self-honesty is that true part within you that knows the truth. It's the part of you that can't accept bullshit. But it gets layered on top of. Here's an example. Let's say you go, oh yeah, I really got to have that tough conversation with my spouse. And then you distract yourself and you justify why logically it's not the best time or whatever. It's like we become these justification machines. And then we sabotage our life, and we'll go months or years without actually fundamentally leveling up. And here's the point. You always have access to your self-honesty. Always. You might be possessed in your mind and tripping out and having a justification frenzy. But if you just slow down and breathe, here's what I do. I grab a piece of paper. I have paper all over in my office, and I have a pen. And I will write down. I'll just say, like, points to work on. Or, like, self-honest reflection. Just whatever you got to put at the top, and just actually write out what are those points you're resisting. You're going to resist this so much. Me saying this right now, I know right away for some of you, your mind will go, don't do it, or do it later. But I'm telling you, if you actually want your life to change and you want to take directive control of your life, instead of getting backed into a corner and then you're forced to change, this is how you can take responsibility and change. There's a big difference, because one of them sucks. It's painful when you get backed into a corner, and then it's just like the things you don't want to look at, and then it's all manifesting and your life feels like it's falling apart, and you're finally like, fuck, I gotta change. That's one way to do it. But the other way is where you can become more proactive in this process, and you write out the self-honest points to look at. Now, if you don't know everything that's in there, I mean, I make a lot of videos on this stuff. Like, for example, you may... Okay, we're going to get real deep for a minute, all right? There's a person I know, and they have split up with their partner a while ago. And they're not realizing the consequence of that. And I realize every situation's gonna be unique, but when you have a kid with that partner, it changes things. If you just split up with an ex and it wasn't a good fit, whatever, that's a different story than if you have a kid together, because that kid, they're 50% mom and 50% dad. Now, if the situation is really bad and there's abuse happening or drugs and alcohol, that kind of thing, I get it. There's going to be specific context. But if it's just because both partners were not getting along and there was arguments, when you can take on this new way of living, call it the process, and you can actually learn to forgive yourself and forgive the other person, and you can commit to a new way of being, and you can change, and you have that power, and you and that other partner both have that, you can, I mean, I've seen couples that have either been on the brink of divorce or had actually agreed to split up, but I've seen them actually mend that and come back stronger than ever, and now they're a united team. So that would be an example of, like, let's say you're making a list on your like your areas you don't want to face. Some of the shit is so deep you're not even going to see it right now, and you're not going to want to look at it, or you're immediately going to shut down and there's going to be a firewall. And now I don't expect one YouTube video from me to change that for you, but if it can even plant a seed and start to open that up, you can at least look at it and start to bring awareness to it. So I know they got real deep for a minute, because I know there's some shit you don't want to question. You don't want to look at it. Or maybe you've devoted your career for the past 10 years to working yourself up in the world of investment banking or finance or whatever. And that is who you are. It is your identity. You are good at making money. You are good, or you got your investment accounts, whatever. And like, that is who you are, and that's how you're going to be. But you also know deep down, you're like, wait, is this sustainable? Is this actually the best thing for me to do? But it's like, you may not even want to question it, because it's so core to your identity and it's so core to your survival that you don't want to look at it. But I am imploring you, I'm encouraging you. This is the kind of thing that when you can question it and open it up, it may be very uncomfortable, but it will actually allow you to start to change at such a fundamental level that the future you will be very grateful you've done it. And I'm not just speaking from theory. I'm not just saying this because I've read it in a book. Well, there's actually no books that talk about this. It's something way beyond that. But I'm saying this because this has been what I've learned in my life. I saw that I wanted my life to change. I genuinely want to make the world be the best place it can be, and I want to turn myself into the best version of myself. But that involves me having to now let go of so many limitations that I had justified and I had identified with. But doing this, letting the things go, being willing to investigate every last point and let it go and really challenge myself and grow, it's like, it's liberating. It's really liberating when you do it. And you start to grow at a pace that you almost don't recognize it, because you realize just how quickly your whole life can change when you align yourself with truly being the best version of yourself. This is the real shit, okay? This is the kind of shit that you see your favorite influencer on YouTube or Instagram, and they're reading a scripted video. That's a whole different category of content. I do not script this. I just see a point that people are going through, or that I myself have walked through. And really, it's usually a combination of both. And I just share from me as who I am. And so this content in my videos, I'm not trying to get thousands and thousands of views. I'm not trying to go viral. I share this for the people who can hear it, because it will help you have support and a strengthening. Because guess what? As you go through that, your next level, and you write out all your points on that piece of paper of like, oh shit, I haven't looked at my finances in depth for a while. Or, oh, yeah, I'm in the wrong career. Or, oh, I ended that relationship without really thinking through the consequence. And you start to see all that stuff in front of you, guess what happens? You start to realize there's a finite amount of things you got to actually work through. It's not infinite. We are programmed from the media and from our world to think, oh, there's an infinite amount of things to work through and I'll just be working on things for the rest of my life and whatever, I'm a good person because I, kind of work on myself and I do some self-help. It's like, nah. Don't you actually want to solve the problem for real? I do. I want to work through every last point. I want to do it sustainably, within self-responsibility, and all of my points of limitation I've been allowing, I want to work through all of them, point by point by point, because then I actually know my foundation is strong, and then I can stand in a higher position of authority in the world. Because I'm here to change the fucking world. And that means if I'm willing to be, at some point, be mayor or be governor or be in Congress or run a huge media company or have a ton of responsibility on my shoulders that I can't be fucked with. But if I have some unresolved shit from third grade and why I'm self-conscious about something that's not really relevant anymore, like I need to work through every last point. So when I stand in that position, I can't be fucked with. And then I can actually get the result I want. And so this is taking your programming in consideration. And this is taking programming and self-development seriously all the way. That's why we call it self-perfection. The group that I'm a co-founder of is called Self-Perfected. It's not self-help. It's not guru jerk-off session. It's self-perfection, self-perfected. Because perfection is the process of purification. And it takes time. It's going to take years. But as you do it, your life gets so much better. Sometimes things get a little wobbly. And you'll realize the quote. I would write this down. Everything that's not real falls away. So if your life has been built on some illusion or delusion or just ineffective, inaccurate thoughts, you kind of think you know how reality works, but in reality, reality sometimes smacks you in the face. It's like, welcome the smack in the face. Welcome the test. Welcome the challenge. Because as you work through it, there's a finite amount of points to work through. And as you do that, you now will create new points for you to master. And I don't mean you're just going to create some more bullshit sabotage patterns. I mean, like, for me, we bought this homestead. And it was very challenging for the first few years. Because there's like a lot of stuff to take responsibility for. And when it's cold and it's negative 20 degrees, because I live in Minnesota, and the chickens need water, or the pipe froze and I didn't plan ahead, it's painful, but it's like I created that point for me. So in this process, you accumulate more responsibility, you do new things, you have more resources, you have more connections. All of that starts working. Then you take on new projects, new responsibilities. And then there's new challenges that you face. And then you master that, and then you go to the next level and the next level. It's like, this is how we actually fundamentally will change the world. Because at some point, I'll be getting into politics. But I'm not going to be the only one. There's going to be hundreds of us who are on the same journey, but we all hold a different point. So maybe I'm governor here in Minnesota. And then my friend Sam is governor in Columbus, Ohio. My friend Jude is maybe a senator from New Jersey. And we got thousands of us at all different levels in the system, all resonating the same point, which is, hey, let's actually make this be the best it can be. Don't you want to live in that world? Would you vote for us? Would you vote for the politician that's bought off by BlackRock that you don't actually trust? It's like, this is what it means to change our lives and to change the world. But the last part I want to share is, this is why you want to be tapped in to the group. Because it's very easy to go into isolation. Like, this is our mind's default program, is isolate and just go into thinking and overthinking and justifying. But how's that working out for you? As opposed to, you might resist. Like, for example, on the final Saturday of every month, we run something called the Clubhouse at our home. And it's awesome. It's invite only. We want to make sure there are cool people there who are actually going to have conversations and they care about the depth. They're not just there because they want to feed off the energy and just have fun. It is fun, but it's fun because there's real people who actually want to talk about real shit. And then, of course, we play games and, we have fun with it too. But there's a depth to it. There's the value in it. And so sometimes people will resist because they're like, I don't want to go, or, they justify like, I'm busy or whatever. But sometimes that's the exact point you have to walk through, because you come to the event, and if you have an intention of like, hey, I actually want to let go of this thing, or I want to actually know the truth about this thing, and you come in with that intention. What's up, Gray? Got my cat out here too. See, I got all these fucking animals. I grew up with just a dog. I didn't like animals. I'm still learning how to become a cat person, right? But you'll come to these events and you'll have a resistance sometimes, because events, especially with intentional people who have created an intentional container, you could call it, it's not designed to hype you up on an energetic level, but it's designed to awaken you as a being. The beingness that's within you, that awareness, that's actually who you are, is designed to pull that out of you, but sometimes that's uncomfortable. But that's why you need the group, because it's something you can't do on your own. And it's so easy on your own to justify and not take self-responsibility and not be held accountable. And you can make up all these rules in your fucking head of, I'm changing because I feel different. I'm changing because whatever. It's like, is your change verifiable? Can other people see your change? Because that's how you actually know the change is real. You can cross-reference it, okay? So that was some more on time loops, and I'm going to encourage you, do that exercise today, right? Like, do it right now. Find a piece of paper, find a pen or a pencil, and write out, what are the points you've been avoiding looking at? Yo, what the? I don't know if you saw that. Great, I'm making a video, dude. See, that's an example of a point. I have resisted cats since I've been a kid. I don't even know why. I was never scratched by a cat or anything. I think I just didn't really understand them. I didn't grow up with them. And I just preferred dogs. Because I didn't understand cats, how they're sometimes skittish around humans. I mean, yeah, and like for example, I'm here in my office, and then my house is over there. So I walk back and forth a couple times a day, typically. There's Gray. I used to joke about him being a demon cat. But actually, then I realized, wait, there's power in my words. I should not program my cat in my relationship with my cat that he's a demon. Because really, it would just be a reflection of myself. Like, that's just some lazy fucking thoughts on me, right? It's kind of a joke, but it was like, no, I'm actually, like, I want to have a cool relationship with my cat, right? And when I go in between my house and my shed, sometimes Gray, our cat, will walk in front of me. And he'll walk, like, right next to me, enough to where I'm like, dude, come on, like you're in my way. But it's every time. These cats have some sensitivity. It's like every time I'm rushing and I'm not fully present, he comes in. So really, I should be grateful for him. So see, these are examples of things that I'm walking through real time. And it might seem so mundane. You're like, dude, come on. How is your cat? How is your cat actually, your cat's not aware. It's like, nah, dude, life is way more aware than we were ever taught. And you can learn so much in every situation, but it requires self-honesty and self-responsibility, and then the self-accountability from being part of a group and having connections with other people who are also taking this seriously. So do that exercise today and let me know how it goes.